Another test subject.
Light blade!
Solidified!
Coming to be! It's showtime! To the very...
You win! Picked the wrong test subject.
Attaboy!
Order guide you.
Feel this ancient power. Burst point. Let's roll! Charge!
Cut down. Like this.
It's a lucky day.
Stabilize.
And Vick, coming to be. Bam!
I will have order.
Let's roll! Can't catch me.
Crumble. Quake! Crumble!
Certainly worth the extra mile.
Gather!
Pull in! Attaboy! Can't catch me!
The passenger ship from Liyue that we're supposed to meet should be arriving. You know that Shincho will be on board, right?
What is the situation? down!
Let's roll!
Can't catch me! Can't catch me!
Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion! Shine down!
Stabilize!
Be gone!
Attaboy!
Let's roll!
Attaboy!
This is order. Solidify!
You must be visiting from Liyue to participate in the Iridori Festival. We'll be your guides, and we'll take you on to... Huh? Is it Paimon, or have we met somewhere before?
Yes, in fact we have. I'm Shu from Feiyun Commerce Guild. The inventor of Theater Mechanicus previously came to the Feiyun Commerce Guild seeking investment. Although the guild manager was not interested, the master still wanted to support them. We heard that they'd be demonstrating the game and letting people try Theater Mechanicus at the Iridori Festival. So the guild manager instructed Master and I to take the opportunity to come to Inazuma and investigate the product's potential.
Oh, speaking of which, where's the young master?
Master, he's,
Whoa! Xingqiu's just sitting there, sound asleep.
What? Oh. It's the Traveler and Paimon. I presume you're guests in Inazuma as well? It seems fate has destined our paths to cross once again.
Oh, we aren't actually guests. We're actually guides for the Iridori Festival.
Please, no need to worry. I was a little too caught up in a novel on the voyage here. When I finally realized what time it was, the first rays of dawn were already peeking over the horizon. Yes, now that we've arrived, the Kanjo Commission will likely wish to inspect our invitation letter. Let's keep it in hand, shall we? Huh? That's odd. There was a piece of paper underneath my bag.
Ooh, let Paimon have a look. There's no doubt about it. It's from the same series as the story we found before. Even the handwriting looks exactly the same.
The story you found before?
Oh, yeah! In the warehouse down by the... A friend of ours is on Rito to paint portraits of the 5 Kasen. You know, as part of the Iridori Festival. Poetic stories about the 5 Kasen have been hidden in various places nearby. If you can find one of the stories and give it to this friend of ours, then there's a chance you'll become the model for the next portrait.
Wait a moment. So you mean that... There's a chance of meeting Calx in person?
Huh? Oh, yeah. You could say that.
Really? That's wonderful! I knew that Calx would attend the Irodori Festival just a few days later. Word then came that Calx would be busy painting portraits of the 5 Kasen during the festival. It is a most rare opportunity for both Calx and I to be in Inazuma together, but it seemed he would be too busy with the portraits to meet with me. So... I felt quite disappointed for some time now.
Don't worry, Xingqiu. Even though Calx has work to do, he still has time to see friends. We can take you to see him right now. Also, we heard that Calx did illustrations for your Legend of...
Ah, so you've already heard. To be honest, my works have drawn little interest in Liyue. However, the novels are selling quite well in Inazuma with the help of Calx's beautiful illustrations. Calx is not only a skilled artist, but he also carries out his craft with great alacrity. I heard that it took him merely a few hours to finish the illustrations for the latest chapter. But when I looked at the art, the brushwork did not even look the slightest bit rushed. His work is truly exquisite. Oh my, I was beginning to get carried away there. Let us depart, quickly now.
Luckily, the idea of meeting Albedo managed to draw Xingqiu's attention and keep the situation under wraps. Let's just hope we don't let anything slip while meeting Albedo.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist...
Traveler, Paimon, how are you? And who is this accompanying you?
You must be Calx. It's a great... forgive me. It's rude of...
And you may call me Albedo.
No, that...
Why not? Seeing as we're... Besides, we've already corresponded with...
It's not just you, Albedo. We haven't seen Xingqiu act this awkward before either.
You guys, it's certainly... Oh, by the way, we happened to find a story from the poem hunt competition.
Poem hunt?
You know, that thing where we have to find pieces of paper with stories of the...
Huh? Oh, I understand the
Splendid. Though,
If all of you are free, why don't we do...
well...
Do you have other plans,
No, not at all. Speaking of...
Shimura's... unfortunate...
That's perfectly fine with me. But I must first...
Huh? No way!
No, Paimon, I'm not referring to us.
Huh? Xingqiu's suspicious.
Paimon, you read the poem, right? All the...
Read them together? Suiko lost Aoi no Okina's poem in a drunken stupor. Huh? Wait a minute. Could today's story be hinting that... No way!
And that is precisely the point of suspicion. If... Moreover, he didn't raise any questions when I suggested another place.
Are you saying that she...
Yes, that is indeed...
But how could Xingqiu be the book thief?
Calm down, Paimon. Even though this is the first time, I think there must be some deeper motive at play here.
Oh? Could Xingqiu...
It's difficult to say at this point. But, given I'll be relying on your assistance to get to the bottom... Good. I don't see anyone suspicious around. It seems clear for the moment.
Oh, this whole thing's starting to make Paimon a little nervous.
First, we must ascertain whether Xingqiu was already in Inazuma or not. If we can find evidence of him deceiving us, then we can use it since we're still waiting for him. Why don't you go and chat with other guests in the restaurant and...
Albedo, what should we...
I will try to break the ice by talking about our work on novels, and if he really is hiding something...
Oh, come to think of it, Xingqiu mentioned that...
Is that so?
The last phase of the Irodori Festival.
That's right. A signed first edition is going to become quite the collectible. I've got to get my hands on a copy.
I've seen Genyu's signature before. His handwriting is super neat.
He'll be there in person on the day of the release, so we'll get...
Wait a minute, did you just hear that? Not only will Xingqiu be signing novels at the release, but his handwriting is super neat?
Please, talk to me if you want to order.
There has been so many lively young customers recently.
Hello there. What can I get for you?
Hi, do you have any special recommendations today?
Why, of course. I'd personally recommend our freshly caught seafood. It's been pouring these past few days.
So the weather at sea has been bad these past few days?
It sure has. A few guests from Liyue were just telling me that...
Oh, this might be some useful information.
That was delicious. Inazuman cuisine largely consists of fresh seafood, which is certainly to my liking.
That's good. We were worried you might not have an appetite because you didn't sleep well. Now's our chance. Let's talk to Xingqiu and see if he says anything useful. Maybe we could start by asking him about the... By the way, Xingqiu, what book were you reading on the way here?
Oh, I was reading a novel called Pretty Please Kitsune Guji. It was sent to me by my editor.
Didn't you feel dizzy while reading on the ship?
It was nothing I couldn't handle. Don't forget, I'm proficient in the arts of the Guhua clan. That being said, there were quite a few people.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything suspicious about what he said so far.
Well, I've never embarked on such a long journey before. Though I was quite excited when we set off. The long days at sea...
Speaking of the journey, did anything noteworthy happen along the way?
Well, to be honest, I spent most of the trip with my nose in a novel.
Well, that didn't tell us much.
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony of the trip caused everyone to grow. So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma, everyone crowded the deck to have a look. However, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace. It took a whole day from the time we saw the mountain.
Paimon didn't catch anything suspicious so far. Oh, right! If it took an entire day to reach the docks, then it would have been pouring rain at the time they saw the top of the mountain.
We learned a couple of things from his account, but we still require more evidence.
While it is entertaining to read novels, writing one is an endeavor of its own. You must give great thought to every detail, from the layout of the plot to the rhythm of the lines. And even when you have come up with interesting content, there's...
I couldn't agree more. Whether it's writing a book,
Xingqiu and Albedo are getting into some...
Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, my novel didn't sell well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had... Yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your illustrations. This...
Thank you. How light novel illustrations are typically centered around the characters.
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world, so I thought it...
Doesn't sound like anything...
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Xingqiu, we have something very important to ask you now.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden? Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori Festival. Even we, the creators, haven't
well...
The jig's up, Xingqiu. You were already in Inazuma before today, weren't you? Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth? Don't worry, the Traveler...
No, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind. I did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Let me consider how to...
Oh! Well, if this isn't a coincidence...
Huh? Tone-deaf Bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste them.
Paimon knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything good.
Says who? In fact, I come as the bear. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of A Legend of Sword. You needn't worry about it any longer.
Huh? The criminal who stole A Legend of Sword?
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named Onodera?
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make haste and rescue Onodera.
to me if you want to order.
Please, wait! Onodera is innocent!
Oh, so you must be the author of A Legend of Sword.
Anyway, you mustn't take him away.
No need to worry, Genshinho. I've just explained—
Yes. In fact, we were just getting—
Oh, phew. What a relief.
Well, to be precise,
Xingqiu looks pretty flustered.
Though it's most embarrassing in the end.
No, Genshinho. It's only for the Iridori Festival. I recommended the idea of selling newly released— Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining the Heyyy published— However, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance. As a result, it caused a great deal of trouble for Genshinho.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point. So
Even though such an event will be difficult for Genshinho, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately boarded a ship to Inazuma to come up with a solution. So these past few days, Genshinho has been actively practicing his handwriting. However, it takes time to sign each book, and we realized the time we reserved for the signing was not nearly enough. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. That way, Genshinho could use these few days. I thought everything would work out without a hitch. I never expected that someone would immediately realize that the books were missing from the warehouse. To make things worse, I was on vacation and staying with Genshinho in my house these past few days. I had no idea that the situation had turned into such a huge mess. All of this happened because I wanted to prove myself through this event.
Onodera, I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know of my unsightly handwriting. Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of my prior signatures. At a previous event, the Heyyy publishing house, I practiced tirelessly for an entire day to finally but looking back—
Hey, come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's right. All that matters is that Xingqiu and his books are okay.
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books to the rest of the people on Rito.
Yes, I understand. I'll apologize to everyone.
We should probably be heading back to Rito as well. Let's tag along.
Osmantha.
Onodera, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on leave these few days?
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but why didn't you tell everyone earlier? If you had told—
That's right. We're a team.
Let's leave the past behind us now. Our first priority is to help Genshinho with his signatures. how was your...
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only finished
Oh, no wonder Shincho...
I understand. Murata, go back to Yae...
Yes, Mr. Hirayama. It just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher. Should I ask him to lend his assistance as well?
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. 2 calligraphers from Liyue arrived today.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Zhenyu. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel in just 1 week's time?
Yes, but writing novels and learning
Even though Shincho still had...
I always used to prefer working alone in my work.
We also owe a special...
Huh? You mean...
Pardon me, but...
Oh, right.
I see. It appears that Onodera and Albedo. May I ask you one thing? Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to that story, but I also hope that I'll remember this lesson.
No problem. Considering the similarities between the portrait and the events that have taken place...
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akahito.
Albedo really is something. He finished the portrait of Aoi no Okina in no time at all. Wonder how Shincho's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Hey, do you think whoever left those stories for us could... Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please... He's a friend of ours, and the release of his new book is super important to him. Oh, what's that sound? It was just a cat. Looks like we can't make them reveal themselves that easily. It's getting late now. Well, let's go back and get some rest. We still have to go to the docks and wait for no... It's already time for us to be at the docks. Let's go! The arrival schedule
Almighty
says...
Shogun.
Ship stopover, 1 person. Does that mean we're only welcoming 1 guest today? Make sure you get in line early.
need to buy your special edition drinks!
Welcome home, almighty Shogun.
Greetings, traveler in Paimon. I heard there would be guides for the Iridori Festival, but I didn't expect it would be you two.
Returning as a guest for the Iridori Festival, no doubt.
I was a little surprised myself when I received the invitation.
Kazuha, when we saw you in the distance just now, you seemed to...
Ah, yes. You see, when I came off the boat with everyone just now, I suddenly heard light footsteps around me. I could tell they were not footsteps of a regular passenger. But by the time I turned around, the person had already... Even though I didn't manage to catch a glimpse of them, I found this strange piece of...
Oh, does the paper happen to have a poem written on it?
Huh. How... Fascinating. It's almost hard to believe such things could happen. Sure, here it is. Please, have a look.
Okina's poem and story this time basically says that Akihito got his name from his love of red seals. However, the Shogun discovered that he had committed plagiarism. Well, if Paimon were to rate today's story, it sounds pretty unfortunate.
I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with this story. I too was once wanted a...
But according to the story, Akihito was exiled by the Shogun because of his wrong... Huh? Traveler, what are you thinking about?
Ah, by the way, you mentioned that your friend has been struggling because he's unable to sign his name quickly, right? In Liyue and Inazuma, there is a saying, that which has been stamped has also been signed. Perhaps using a seal. While sailing at sea, I sometimes carve...
Wow! That's an idea! Albedo! We figured out a way to help Xingqiu!
Interesting. A story of the 5 Kasen appears again, and with a timely solution. Stamped seal, huh? Indeed, it is an efficient solution. If we use a stamp, then Xingqiu won't have to struggle with his handwriting anymore. However... since Xingqiu's signature has been previously revealed to the readers, it would seem insincere if he only used the stamped seal for his new books. But I have another idea. Using a seal is a part of it, of course. Let's go to Ouya restaurant now to discuss my idea with everyone.
Yes, that's it, Genshinho. Your writing has greatly improved today, which means yesterday's intensive training was effective.
My apologies, but I simply can't do it anymore. My hands are so sore that I can't even move them anymore.
You just had a 10-minute break. Come on, you can do this.
When it comes to pushing a deadline, there's no one more brutal than Mr. Hirayama.
No wonder Lady Yae would always send the editorial director to handle troublesome authors.
Whoa, this is getting scary. It hasn't even been that long and Shincho's already zombified.
Mr. Hirayama, we found a solution that might just solve our dilemma. In both Liyue and Inazuma, seals are widely used as the equivalents of a signature. If we use a stamp to leave the author's seal on the books, of course, a seal on its own is not enough. So, I propose that each signature can... First, we'll use a personalized seal. We can simply carve... In addition,
All right, I think that would work. Not only does it still
So, what you mean to say is...
Mr. Hirayama, it suddenly occurred, but if we adopted Calc's and if all the authors signed their book...
If you think it's feasible, I would certainly be...
Yes, and you may leave carving the stamps to me.
In that case, I shall contact the other two authors participating in the new release event.
It is a great honor to use a signature design.
My pen name is quite complicated and isn't suitable for signing events. However, if we implement this new format, then it'll be a dream come true for me as well.
Great! Looks like everyone's on board with the idea.
I'm sorry to have kept you busy for so long, Genshinho. Please, take the next few days to have a good rest. We'll handle everything from here. The books that Genshinho already signed can be used as special prizes in future events held by...
We did it!
Thanks to everyone's efforts, Onodera and I are finally free of that mess.
That's right! You're finally free, Xingqiu! Maybe you should step outside for some fresh air.
Welcome to Heyyy Restaurant. Please talk to me if you want to order.
There has been so many lively young customers recently.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
We still have some time to burn. Where should we go next?
Traveler, there you are.
Oh, it's Ayaka! And Venti! That's an interesting combo.
I was just going to the festival venue to prepare the Ikebana lesson when I found a strange piece of paper on a flower stand. This bar just happened to be close by at the time.
But the paper she found isn't quite the same as the ones we found before.
Here's the paper. Please, have a look.
Huh. All the poems we found before were roughly the same length. But this one is only 2 lines.
And even though there are only 2 short sentences... The position of the writing seems to indicate that there is other content written on this paper.
If we take the poem literally, it reads, "Dip this paper in water and see the truth naturally appear." Speaking of which, I have an ancient text at home, specializing in ancient and exotic stories. It mentions a special ink that will show itself when wet and disappear when it's dry.
So, shall we give it a whirl?
Water from the hot springs has magical powers to heal your body and soul.
Wow, look! It's really working! Let Paimon see what it's... The story says that after Sumizomi got the collection of poems from Akihito and put them into a stream of water... The plagiarize...
You see, Paimon, to ensure the text lacks such special inks. However, since Akihito's poetry collection was an important gift to be presented to the Shogun, surely one of those 2 methods was used to protect it. But as for the plagiarized poems,
Not only would they lack Akihito's seal, but the words would also react differently when exposed to liquid.
Which means Akihito didn't plagiarize his work. He was set up!
Yes, it appears that this is the truth that Sumizome's story is trying to convey. Although the story is saddening, I've this Kazuha, Ayaka. Would you be willing to be the models for my paintings?
I would be delighted.
Yes.
There you go. The next 2 portraits should be ready in no time.
Yes. And now that all 4 stories...
Long ago, Inazuma had 5 legendary poets. People bestowed upon them the title of the 5 Kasen.
One year, the poet Suiko made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suiko was questioned regarding the matter. Suiko pleaded guilty. He admitted to drinking at the tavern the night before, and vaguely recalled a mysterious figure approaching while he was intoxicated.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akihito.
Akihito had once belonged to the 5 Kasen. Each poem he composed, he marked with a scarlet red seal, hence the Aka in his name. Such a distinguished writer was he, and yet one of the poems he had submitted the previous year was found to be plagiarized. Akihito was exiled for his crimes, and only 4 of the 5 Kasen remained.
Sumizome went over Akihito's poems and noticed that the plagiarized poem lacked his seal. She immersed his poetry in a stream nearby, and only on the plagiarized poem did the ink run. Aoi no Okina passed by and witnessed Sumizome's doing, which he then recorded in a poem. Thus transpired the events of Suiko's poetry submission, and this is where the story comes to an end.
Yeah. Ever since we completed the story of the 5 Kasen, there's still one thing Paimon hasn't been able to figure out. One of the 5 Kasen is called Kuranushi, right? It's just that... how could the story of the 5 Kasen finish without him appearing?
Oh! Have you read?
Huh? Not noticed what?
What he means is that the story of Kuranushi was already embedded within the 4 poems.
Huh? Really?
That's right. The key lies in the poem that Aoi no Okina wrote after seeing Sumizome rinsing the poetry collection. An average person could never understand the scene of a young girl washing Akihito's poetry collection in a stream. Even Aoi no Okina couldn't figure out the meaning. However, for the perpetrator who framed Akihito, it was completely obvious. He was worried that if this poem was seen by the Shogun, then the Shogun could discover the truth behind the plagiarism incident. If that happened, then he'd be finished. So, in desperation, he threatened Aoi no Okina to make him tear out this poem.
Which means the one who threatened Aoi no Okina is the same person that framed Akihito. What?
That's right. Though there are only 4 poems, they still managed to... Since the Shogun mentioned in the poems is certainly not the one of the 5 Kasen, the only character left is the mysterious one with an unknown identity.
Oh, okay. Paimon is finally starting to get it now.
However, this also brings something else to mind. The story of the 5 Kasen has more or less reflected everything that's been happening around us lately. Which begs the question...
A Kuronushi?
Speaking of which, I wonder if our dear Kazuha...
Oh, right! Kazuha! He's been pretty quiet this whole time. Let's ask him!
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
Hey, Kazuha! Are you okay? You've been standing in front of this blank canvas for a while, and you don't look so good.
Apologies for making a wild assumption, but has the story of the 5 Kasen reminded you of anything?
Yes. A few things did come to mind, actually. However, they were nothing more than some past incidents regarding my family. I don't mind sharing the stories, but I'd prefer not to bring you any more trouble.
Hey, we're all here, Kazuha. You can always tell us whatever's on your mind.
Kaidehara, please forgive my assumption, but perhaps you were thinking of the Raiden Gokuden?
Raiden Gokuden?
It appears that Miss Kamisato and I were thinking of the same thing. But it also has much to do with the Yashiro Commission. It would be improper to speak—
It's fine. Those of us here are all— However, this matter is somewhat complicated and may— As you all know, the Raiden Gokuden were once the top 5 schools of the forging art in— Unfortunately, of the 5, only the Aminel, the descendants of the Ishin art—
Whoa! We knew Kazuha came from a noble family, but we had no idea—
Yes, but that's all part of the past now. My grandfather was dissatisfied with my great-grandfather's lack of effort. When he was young, my grandfather traveled, and in my generation, our last remaining family property—
I heard my elder brother mention that the decline of the Raiden Gokuden happened very rapidly. In the span of a few decades, 3 of the families suffered various misfortunes and later, there was— However, since not every family of the Raiden Gokuden came—
Indeed. However, I know not only did it affect the Kaedahara clan, but after reading the story of the 5 Kasen, I can't—
What exactly happened to your great-grandfather, Kazuha?
I still can't say. I need to speak with someone to verify the details. Let's meet— I will tell you everything I know then.
Kazuha said he would—
Ah, you're here. It appears everyone has arrived. Last night, I visited a former servant who once worked for my family. In my great-grandfather's generation, though all the craftsmen involved were very experienced, when the deadline came, the Kaedahara clan and Yashiro Commission then conducted However, they met fierce resistance from the crafts. The Kaedahara clan was severely punished for the swordsmiths that had escaped. Moreover, I heard that the head of the Kamisato clan was injured by the fleeing swordsmiths.
Yes. The sudden passing of the family head left the Kamisato clan. This single incident had profound effects. Even after the position as head of the clan was passed to my— But, thanks to my—
The failure to forge the blade was ultimately attributed to a lack of required skill. However, the story of the 5 Kasen seems to imply that— Miss Kamisato, I heard yesterday that— Might I ask you to do me—
Yes, I understand. everyone. I've met.
Though the Whoa. At this point, we can only.
Although the effect is not Kazuha, this is...
I see. But I fear that I've discovered this secret too late. When my grandfather was young, he proposed reviving the yesterday. Sure enough, my grandfather left Inazuma in a rage after hearing those words. Looking back at it now, the argument between...
Oh, I heard that your great-grandfather was very industrious when he was young.
Kazuha, did your great-grandfather really say, if you can't find...
Yes. The servant said my grandfather was so angry at the time that he smashed my great...
Yes, it appears that you understand. Kazuha, if your great-grandfather thought that the Ishin art lacked finesse, then after witnessing his son's failure... But instead he said, if you can't find the secret within... Don't you find...
Huh? So you're saying my great-grandfather may have very well...
Yes. The current evidence suggests that is highly likely.
I apologize, but would you all please accompany me to the Tenryou Committee? After I became a wanted criminal, the Tenryou... I want to inquire about the whereabouts of those belongings. If I can find them, we might be able to get some...
All right, let's get moving.
What are you all doing here? Did something happen on Rito?
Kujo Sara.
Yes, I do. You're Kaedehara Kazuha, a one...
Sara, we'd like to ask about the Kaedehara clan's property that was seized by the...
Yes, the item seized...
No, I'm afraid...
I see.
Thank you, Sara.
Kaedehara.
That's all in the past now, Kujo Sara. There's no... However, may I ask...
Yes? What?
Currently, I have no plans to stay in Inazuma. Madam Kujo, I believe you are a person of integrity. After our investigation is over, I'd like to ask if you can handle the...
All right, I understand. I've already informed the police station. As for all the belongings...
Ah, you must be here to investigate the Kaedehara clan's belongings. Well, Madame Kujo's already informed... The Kaedehara clan's belongings are stored in this warehouse. However, I have clearly marked the corresponding items, so I'll be waiting for you at the door.
Kazuha, since the items are scattered throughout the building...
Yes, sounds like a plan. I'll be checking around here.
Oh, it's you.
Whoa, this folding screen looks...
Yes. Perhaps if it were better maintained. I was taking a closer look just now, and noticed a large piece of dirt caught in the fabric. The soil is deeply embedded into the cloth. That means a great deal of force was used when the dirt was lodged into the cloth. Because this is not... Let me think. If I wanted to leave a message...
Albedo seems to be thinking...
There must be some around. Do you see all these pots here? Some of them are bound to have...
Hey! Everyone else!
I mean...
Well, Paimon doesn't really... What if we don't end up finding anything today?
I know you are worried about... Since Kazuha made such a request to Sara... No, not into it. Leave the things here to me. You two...
What did you find, Xingqiu?
I found quite the... These books here are all related to smelting steel. And these are about...
The books about plants and flowers...
I skimmed through them just now, but I didn't find anything
Oh, it's you.
Oh, since the Kaidahara clan was a family...
I'm afraid not. The blade on the sword hasn't been sharpened, but there are many signs of use on the hilt. Perhaps Kaidahara used it for training as a child.
Let Paimon see! Oh, there seems to be a couple uneven characters. Paimon can imagine what Kazuha was...
I will continue investigating here and call you...
Everyone, I've found something that you should all have a look at.
Oh, seems Kazuha discovered...
This flower pot was in my house for a long time. I heard...
Yeah, the plants seem to have been...
Well, after my great-grandfather stopped studying the forging arts, but he specifically left behind this dead plant at the time, and even instructed my grandfather not to throw it away in his will. My grandfather deeply regretted that he never managed to reconcile with my... But now that I think about it... Yes...
Do you think someone already did...
No, I do not think that is the case here. See the paper?
You mean to say that these sheets have been written...
Yes, I agree with...
Okay,
There is a pond outside the police station.
Well, how did it go?
Just as everyone guessed, after I sprinkled some water on...
Oh? What does the letter say?
It is. I'll tell you what my... Everyone,
Kaidehara, why did you lead us to this beach?
it is. In fact, our hypothesis was correct. My great-grandfather was well aware of the truth behind the defective blades. It reads, "To whoever reads this letter, I, Kaedehara Yoshinori, all those years ago, when I was pursuing the swordsmiths alongside Commissioner Kamisato of the Yashiro Commission, I was not injured by one of the fleeing smiths."
It was night, and after the clues led us down to shore, I waited for the culprits to show themselves. This stranger claimed to be the one behind the failed forgings, and said that he had been patiently waiting for us. He then threatened to destroy the Raiden Gokaden. That person was of able body, and in a blink of an eye, myself and the accompanying samurai had been defeated. Commissioner Kamisato was severely wounded, and I barely escaped death myself. My hat had... The unusual stranger could have easily claimed my life at that moment. But, after noticing my appearance, I answered that it was my father's surname, and after my father disappeared, I was adopted by the Kaedehara family. Upon hearing my answer, the stranger paused. After a long silence, he suddenly said, "Tell her this. My name is Kuni Kuzushi." He then turned and left.
Wow.
Yes. My great-grandfather, however, due to the encounter, the head of the Kamisato clan was worried that my great-grandfather would be falsely accused because the perpetrator said he would destroy the Raiden Gokaden. He said, "As the leader of the Kaedehara clan, I am deeply ashamed to witness the decline of the Isshin art." Yes, unfortunately. Miss Kamisato, it appears you were...
If the perpetrator was capable of tampering with even the Shogun, I will discuss this matter with Brother shortly.
To be honest, as I read the letter, my great-grandfather said in the letter that he did not wish, though he was in a tight situation when he wrote these words. I think what's most important for each person is not the past, but the present. Therefore, knowing the truth behind what happened, that being said, if the enemy from all those years ago is still lurking and plotting to stir up more trouble, then these are simply insights I've... Thank you all for a...
Great! Now that we're done here... Today is the final stage of the Iridori Festival. Not only will there be Shincho's signing event...
Hello, traveler.
Albedo, why is the portrait of Kuranushi all covered up? Paimon wants to see what your current...
Don't worry. The unveiling ceremony will be I will say that I'm most satisfied with this particular work. I even made a special...
Traveler, Paimon, it's a pleasure. Indeed it did. Thanks to you. You aren't mistaken. Though I'm ashamed to. After all, I came to Inazuma under the pretext of Fortunately, the crowds of readers... Oh, I should mention, Shu is also unaware of the real purpose of my trip. Then, please accept my thanks in advance. I'll see you later at the unveiling...
Lots of people came to buy books today, though the...
I heard that not only is Genshinho heir to a Liyue merchant family, but he also created the... perhaps?
The release event has been a huge...
Not like that at all. Thanks for your support.
Why do things have to be this way? Why do things have to be this way?
All the world holds.
Why do things have to be this way? Come on, don't be upset.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Why do things have to be this way? Don't be upset.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Why do things have to be this way? Come on, don't be upset. Why do things have to be this way? Come on, don't be upset.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Ah, greetings, traveler.
Oh, Ayato! We finally get to see the busiest person of all.
Yes, there were many things which were quite... Fortunately, the Iridori festival is proceeding smoothly. The Tri-Commission cooperated closely to prepare this festival, so...
Brother and I are very grateful for your help.
Thomas sure is taking his sweet time.
Yes, Today is...
Paimon didn't think Ayato could ever be forgetful like that.
Brother always works diligently, and it's rare for him to ever put his duties to the side and relax. So, tell me...
Come on, don't be upset. Why do things have to be this
Maybe
way?
I could just turn my diary into a light novel.
Come on. Why do things have to be this way?
Kazuha, what are
I came here to take in the sea breeze. Such a bus. Thank you. But look. See, but now, not only are foreigners.
Yeah. Inazuma has already started to change, huh?
I was thinking, in some ways, it might take a different amount of time for and when they finally let go.
Well,
Hey! What are you two doing together?
is that so? I'm afraid you're just overthinking things.
We were merely discussing what...
Forget it.
If you're tired of walking all around the festival,
It's time for the portraits unveiling ceremony. Let's head over to the Five Kasen Plaza.
Everyone, welcome to the magnificent Iridori Festival. Today, we have ushered in and now we will reveal the final portrait of the Five Kasen, Kuranushi, which was done by none other than our guest artist from Mondstadt, Calx.
Paimon has no idea what Albedo's portrait looks like. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking.
Let's all count down together. 3, 2, 1. Huh? What's this? This piece depicts nothing but a background. I suppose Calx must have forgotten to include the character. Let's hear some words from...
Hello, everyone. First, the Five Kasen are legendary figures from ancient Inazuma. I learned from existing sources about those stories that Moreover, Kuranushi lacks a dedicated chapter among the stories. Perhaps we can assume that every creator had a different understanding of Kuranushi. After all, the Iridori Festival is a place for everyone to express their minds through creative work.
Yep, that's Albedo for ya. His super logical explanation is sure to win everyone's approval. Well, it seems that our adventures at the Iridori Festival have come to a close. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh. Oh, right! We still haven't figured out who left those Really? Come on then, who is it? Tell Paimon! Well, that makes sense. Right. Even though they were using stories to hint us toward Shincho's troubles, the real goal was to lead us to solve... Oh! Paimon gets it. Let's go! We'll get to the bottom of this.
As it just so happened.
Paimon wants to see how you...
First of all, the start of this whole incident was due to mere happenstance.
Huh? Paimon knew it! This thing...
That's right. But using the story of the As for my roundabout approach, yes. Due to a certain incident that occurred earlier, I knew there was more than meets the eye regarding those papers. But it took me... What Kaedehara Yoshinori said in the letter is very... The Kaedehara clan used to be subordinates of the Kamisato clan. Although he has the right to know the truth, the closer he draws to things hidden... Of course, I could outright tell him the truth that I had discovered. If he lacks the ability, then he wouldn't be able to find the truth in the first place. Kaedehara Yoshinori left his message in a roundabout way. For a long time, I yearned for a suitable opportunity to...
Oh, Paimon gets it. Yeah, it wasn't only Kazuha.
I figured you... I merely saw that this matter would be of... And more importantly, I hoped that while Kazuha and reliable friends who would be willing to protect them and make... Because it is also very likely that you already know the answer. The answer is actually hidden. When there is no one else near the portrait, you can As for the means of revealing that answer...
It's getting pretty late, so Ayato must have been It's the Balladeer! So he was the one behind the trouble all those years ago!
When there is no one else near the portrait, you can confirm with your own eyes. As for the means of revealing that answer, well, also, there's one... I mentioned earlier that the occurrence of a certain incident it was just after the Shogun announced the abolition of the Sakoku. They had discovered signs that someone had entered the warehouse, storing the commission's... I felt something unusual about that incident. So I told... In the meantime, I sent a member of the Shumatsuban to keep...
You mean...
I let him search for a while, but in the end...
Why didn't you send someone...
The best way to protect a secret is to... After he left Inazuma, I carefully checked the Kaedehara clan's belongings. I am certain that the papers are the secret which the infiltrator... So, now on to my... Which part of Kaedehara Yoshinori's experiences was the secret that needed to be protected? As for now, please, enjoy yourselves at the Iridori Festival.
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks!
as per our contract.
Can't catch me!
Access denied. This world, a fleeting shadow. Born of ice and frost, illusions are but distractions. We're way behind schedule. Access denied.
Solidify!
Press the advantage! Who wants
Your
some of
verdict
this?
is decided. This world, a fleeting shadow. Pathetic.
Attaboy!
This body is eternal.
Solidify!
Obstacles.
Let's roll!
Perish.
Stabilize!
New purge all obstacles. Next on the agenda, witness the final calamity. Access denied.
Gather!
Bam!
Perish. No touching.
Let's roll! Gather!
Eternity is in my hands.
Stabilize!
Rally! Charge! Attaboy! Oh, coming through!
Let's roll!
It's showtime!
Only emptiness awaits.
Don't underestimate the beetle. They can be some of the toughest little guys around. Yes, you can. On this beetle's diet? Sweat and tears, that's... Attaboy!